Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm just chilling in my hotel room. Hey, D-boy, what's going on? Hey, everybody. It's been a weird 24 hours, actually, longer than that. As everybody knows, it's been weird. Let's wait for some people to get in here for us to just start talking. Just a few people. I figure a lot of people would be joining us, but you never know. It's very intriguing, isn't it? This hashtag content. All right, so here it is. It's a Thursday. I'm Thursday night. I'm in Indianapolis for Big Ten Media Days. Was at SEC Media Days yesterday, which I was thinking, hey, I need to hurry up and get out of here, catch my flight, and the Texas OU news broke. I was actually in a room with Greg Sankey having a one-on-one interview with him when it broke, and had to go chase him down after he left the room to go ask him about it. And of course, he said he's only going to talk about the 2021 season, to which I replied jokingly, hey, we were just talking about 2025 scheduling in there, so that's not true. So anyway, where do we stand right now? There's been some incredible reporting by others. I've talked to a couple of people, but my people haven't really changed anything or provided any more information since yesterday. The bottom line is Texas and Oklahoma have been discussing leaving the Big 12 for several months. Whether there's actually been official communication between, or I should say among those schools and the SEC, is unclear, though it's very clear that the feelers have been sent out to the SEC and that any movement regarding those two schools joining the SEC could happen very, very soon. Where we stand today is that it's been reported by several outlets, including our Chip Towers at Horns 24/7, that the Big 12, or I should say Chip Brown. Chip Towers works for the AJC. I'm so stuck in that. But Chip Brown, who does an incredible job. And if you guys remember 10 years ago, in the last round of realignment, when Texas was potentially going to the Pac-12 and everything, he's been always ahead of things. He reports tonight that the Big 12's presidents and ADs had a meeting tonight. Texas and OU was not part of that meeting, though they were apparently asked to be on. So read into that what you will. Chip also reports that any movement by Texas and OU may not happen until after the current media rights deal with the Big 12 and its media partners ends in 2025. And this is in an effort to, one, help their current conference comrades to find other landing spots, or to help the Big 12 transition to a point where they'll be able to add teams of their own over the next 4 to 5 years. So is it going to happen? I know everybody's asking that. Is this for sure going to happen? It certainly looks like we're heading that direction, but I'm always reminded of what happened a decade ago with the Pac-12, or I should say the Pac-10 at that time, when it looked like it was very close to becoming a super conference with the likes of Texas, OU, maybe Oklahoma State, and others joining. And instead, they got teams like Utah and Colorado. Could that happen with the SEC? Certainly. It certainly could happen. Anything could happen. Make no mistake, this news was leaked on purpose and for a reason on Wednesday. And that reason is to attempt to, not necessarily, or I guess roadblock this whole deal, but to bring some criticism to the possibility of OU and Texas joining the SEC. And this helps who? This helps Texas A&M. Texas A&M does not want Texas to join the SEC. Texas A&M made it very clear yesterday. Ross Bjork, the AD, said, we want to be the only school from Texas in the SEC. The problem with that is this. If A&M wants Texas to stay out, but Texas wants to come in and the SEC wants them to come in, all Texas needs is 11 votes from schools in the 14-team SEC approving their addition to the conference. So A&M, as of right now, would vote no, but that's only one vote. And so that would be 13 of 14. What they need is 4 schools to join, or 3 schools to join them to make 4 total, and saying, no, we don't want that. Which schools are most likely to do that? Mizzou, Arkansas, and potentially the Mississippi schools, Ole Miss and Mississippi State. But the ones that would lean heavily more toward that would be Mizzou and Arkansas, which, surprise, surprise, are closer the closest teams geographically to Texas and Oklahoma. And that, why is that? Why would they not want them, Texas and OU? Recruiting. It's proven now that recruiting has been heavily affected by realignment, and it benefits the teams that join the SEC. Texas A&M's recruiting has gone to another level after joining the SEC. Texas meanwhile has kind of tapered off and leveled off at this point after tapering off. A&M has continued to rise and has had top 7 recruiting classes and top 4 recruiting classes over the last 3 years. So a lot to unpack here. Now, will there be politics involved? Well, judging by what we've read today, it doesn't appear like Oklahoma State can block things in the state legislature. There's not enough movement on that side. You got some Texas lawmakers trying to draft bills today saying that this needs to be more transparent on Texas's part, that they need to be clear with everything, which is, again, movements being made by politicians that have ties to other schools in the state, not ties to the University of Texas. So that's kind of where things stand right now. This is the type of story where, one, we could learn new information at any moment, and it potentially be new information that could change the course of everything and speed up or slow down the timeline. But it could also just be dead in 4 minutes, or it could be ramped up in 4 minutes. So certainly keep your eyes on this every day. I do think that it's clear that the SEC was not expecting this to leak out during media days. Credit, though, to Craig Sankey for actually continuing to speak to the media while this is all going on. Yesterday, in the very wake of all this, like I said, I was sitting one-on-one with them when the news broke, and then had to talk to him about it. He then went to Radio Row and did several interviews at SEC Media Days right as this story was developing in real time. Of course, he's not answering the questions directly, but he's not denying it. And when you're not denying things and you're trying to throw the messenger under the bus by saying it's rumors and I'm not going to comment on unnamed sources and everything, then you're leading credence to it by simply trying to criticize it and throw it away as if it's not an actual news story that has been published because it is believed to be true from a trusted source. So you can't throw a news story in the light of saying it's message board fodder or a rumor when newspapers do not print rumors. They print facts that they trust from their trusted sources, and developing trusted sources takes time. So That's where we are. I'll answer a couple questions, whether it deals with this or anything. And yeah, that's it. No, a lot of people were just asking about my family. Um, hey, D boy, how's your son growing fast, huh? Yeah, man. We got a birthday this week. It's his third birthday this week. So after Big Ten Media Days, I'm flying home to go celebrate and hang out with him. It's strange being away from him for a week, but we're gonna go hang out and celebrate his birthday. I can't wait to see him and see the look on his face when he opens the presents I got him that I've been hiding for the last like month. So that's gonna be fun. Hey, what's up? I'm good. Same question from someone else. So that's it. Anybody got any additional questions? Anything else? I'll sit here for like 15 more seconds, and then if nothing else pops up, I'm just going to jet. I just thought I wanted to jump in here. I had my microphone set up. I just got done recording a podcast with Lance at 24/7 Sports for the College Football Daily. So I figured, hey, well, I've had all this equipment all lined up and connected. Why not use it to just jump on here? So figured I'd take some time. All right. Renard says the 2-week timeline we keep hearing, it's true. If it's true, when do you think they will be in the I think I still think that they won't be in the SEC till 2025, after 2025, after the Big 12 media deal lines up, unless somehow the Big 12 negotiates the deal down to lower the quote unquote buyout, because Texas and OU will have to pay a buyout to the Big 12 for leaving the conference. If they like negotiate that down and the SEC is able to give them more money almost immediately, then you could see this happen in 2 years or 3 years. But as it stands now, I don't think I don't think we start seeing it happen 2025, 2026. Which, I mean, obviously, the hurdles would be cleared before then. But till the moment you see an Oklahoma SEC conference game, we're still at least several years away from that, but most likely 4 to 5 years. When do I think a decision will be made? It could be any moment. I don't think it happens today, but here in the next couple of weeks, as has been reported potentially. But again, it depends on how many roadblocks are thrown in the way now that this is public, that this is being worked out. They didn't want this to go public, obviously. And again, as I said several months ago, I reported yesterday through a source that is very familiar with these discussions, that OU and Texas have been talking amongst themselves about leaving the Big 12. And this has been going on for several months. So it depends on how much actual legwork and groundwork has been done. But it could happen, this month. Well, I should say July 22nd. It could happen before the middle of August. Would SEC have to go to pod scheduling if 2 more teams are out of the conference? They don't necessarily have to. I do think that it's they've got to expand to 9 conference games at the very least. I that's what I think. It's funny because not funny, but news changes every 5 seconds. And I was talking to Sankey yesterday at length about scheduling for 2020 beyond 2025, because the current schedule rotation for football in the SEC expires 2025, and there's a whole question of, do they go to 9 games? Do they use a different type of rotation? So instead of doing 6 division games, then 1 permanent cross-divisional opponent and 1 rotating divisional opponent, do you try to do something different there? Do you do 2 rotational opponents? Do you expand to 9 and increase that? Do you eliminate divisions? Do you get rid of the East and West division? We talked at length about that stuff, which is really kind of moot at this point because Texas and OU might join. Though there was an interesting quote in hindsight that I was transcribing, and I'll read it to you as soon as I can dig it back up here. Let me find it. What's my name? B Marcello. What's my name on Twitter? B Marcello. I'll read the quote to you. This is what Sankey told me as we're going through the weeds of scheduling and how many things are in play and all this. And this, of course, was before the OU and Texas news hit. He said, quote, "This is not attached to scheduling, but this is a transformational time." Sounds to me it's tied to scheduling. He also, I remember him saying that there's a lot of different dynamics this go around for scheduling because there's so many different opinions and decision makers among chancellors and presidents. And nowadays, in reflection, a day later in reflection, you go, yeah, you could potentially have two new voices in the room. But he also said their media partners have not asked them to go to 9 games. We, quote unquote, stand on our strength there, unquote. We're going to have to be in constant evaluation, he said. So, I mean, listen, Greg Sankey speaks in legalese quite a bit. And you guys know that. So it's isn't like he was saying anything really surprising there. How did I see the conference aligning if they join? I don't know. I'd go to a pod system, 4 teams in each pod, but that's just me. Do I think the ACC or Big 10 respond or just sit tight? I don't know. It depends on whether I think they need to be smart about it. You got to add the right teams. You can't just go add teams to add teams. Otherwise, you dilute your product and end up not making as much money as you think you will, and it could hurt you in the long run. I don't think the Big Ten is going to be very aggressive with it. And that's just based off Kevin Warren's comments today. And also, I talked to Barry Alvarez today. He's a new football advisor for the Big Ten. And we talked a little bit about today. I don't want to share that right now because I'm going to put it in the story at 247sports.com. What do I see Oklahoma State doing? I don't know. Being very upset, for one, that OU's leaving, but I don't think they can do anything to block this. But every school, every program in that conference in the Big 12 needs to worry and figure out where they're going to go, because I don't think the Big 12 is going to last if those 2 programs leave. So Oklahoma State better be looking elsewhere. All right, guys, I'm going to jet. Thanks for joining me. I just figured I'd jump on here while I had my microphone out. And that's it. That's all I got. Go to 247sports.com. Much more coverage. Horns 24/7 is all over this and has been all over it. So go check them out too. See you guys.